It's a foggy good morning here. It's actually my birthday today, but it's nice to be able to be sharing Consciouslee interviews with Cristian Jermane. I think I would describe him, listening to his song, as a soul funk kind of guy, kind of artist. And we're going to find out all about him. So welcome, Cristian.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Sorry, do you hear how, everybody listening, do you hear how quiet he is and how loud I am? He's a quietly spoken guy. Okay, so where are you now? Where are you, where is your Zoom now?
I am in my studio / man cave.
Okay, yeah. You got a man cave. So where's that located? Are you in London? Are you in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, all right, so I read from your bio that you have a sort of a dual heritage because you got English and Jamaican. So tell us more about that.
Well, yeah, my dad's from Kingston, Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess how that affects my music is my dad was just like an OG when it came to his vinyl collection.
Yeah.
So growing up, I had like 60s, 70s reggae, 80s soul. I just had the plethora of Motown records to listen to. I was basically raised on a VHS video of Motown 25. So that's just what I thought all music was this good, Okay. So that's what I was raised on.
Okay, so how did you come to how did you find out about your singing, your ability to sing?
Well, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson.
Right.
Which you can hear in my music as well. It's still very influential.
Yeah.
To the way I sing. I'd say Michael, Prince, and Leon Ware are probably my strongest influences.
That was it. So, but then, okay, I can, stay in the shower with my shower head and I'm there like, I can't sing. I mean, I can harmonize, but I'm not a soloist. So how did you find out that you could actually like hold a note, that you are actually a singer, a soloist? How did you
I think it was something I assumed everyone could do because in my family, everyone kind of sings.
Yeah.
Around the house even, so it's like growing up, I've got 4 brothers and sisters. They're all older than me. I'm the baby. Mm-hmm. So they would all be singing around the house and doing their thing. So I just thought it was normal. But we all had piano lessons and they were all much better than me. They all did so much more. I loved it more. And my piano teacher, when I was about 7-8 years old, he took us out for some concert, and of course I played Thriller and performed it on stage, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I've decided my life at 7 years old.
Really?
So that kind of worked. I was also in a choir. I was in my church choir as well. I'm literally a choir boy.
Yeah, I grew up in church. Yeah, choir. Yeah. So what level did you sing in the choir? I was a high tenor.
Oh man, I can't even remember what it's called now. I think it's I think it was tenor and the high one. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah.
Normally boys are tenors. Normally the males are tenors. Normally, or alto. Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
There's like this specific Christmas song. I think it's I can't remember what it's called now, but you basically process around the church, and then there's these big high notes. And I remember one year I did that, and I was sort of leading the thing, all proud of myself and screeching these high notes. So yeah, that did teach me a lot about harmony and stuff like that. And I really feel like that influenced the original Motown sound. A lot of the Motown artists were ex-gospel or church goers, or they've been raised in church, so that came into the Motown music, and then it's also something that's influenced me as well.
Yeah, I know a lot of the Motown stars are probably passed on now. If there was a Motown artist you could sing with, who would it have been?
Marvin Gaye.
Really?
For me, I think Marvin Gaye is the best male vocalist ever in pop. Come on,
really?
Tell me someone that's better.
No, it's just, I think it's his voice, his whole, what he creates with his voice. Yes, I agree with you.
And the thing is, he's just ridiculous because he's got such a strong, powerful voice, but he also has a beautiful, soft falsetto.
Yes.
And then his vocal arrangement, I just want to cry. It's just, oh gosh, don't get me started on.
Oh yeah. Well, you definitely lit up then. You became alive when talking about Marvin Gaye. So definitely, I know he has an influence in you, obviously. So so you're 7 years old. You've decided that this is what I want to do, but then you had to get through primary school, secondary school. So what subjects did you choose in secondary school?
Well, as you can imagine, music. I got an A.
Okay.
Art. I was really good at English creative writing and stuff like that, and I've actually taken that further now. So I'm actually I've written a musical, which I'm turning into a TV series, which is in production at the moment. So
impressive. Well done. That is taking it to another level. Well done.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I just really believe that, we're all given gifts.
Yeah.
I think it's a real shame if you take any of those to the grave. So I'm just trying my best to, use the ones that I've been given and hopefully uplift people in the process.
Lesson to self as well, or note to self, I should say. That is a very good outlook to have, and I do agree with you. So you did your music, you came out of school. Did you go to college? Did you further your education in music?
Not formally in music. I basically, when I came out of secondary school, I did focus on music a lot, but I built up a studio at the time. I got I got a loan and I got loads of studio equipment. I had a massive mixing desk. I had some stuff that was just ridiculous that I didn't need, but I just said, this is what I want to do. So I got all the stuff that I needed to get and just started making and creating. I would literally wake up in the morning and push play on iTunes and music would just play consecutively. I would sleep to music because I'm like, if I'm sleeping and I'm hearing all this great music, when I wake up, I'll know how to make it. That's how I used to think. So I would literally live, breathe music all day. And then I would, I was, 18, 19 for the first time hearing Marvin Gaye's I Want You album. Oh my gosh, how comes everyone doesn't know about this? And then that was my basis. While everyone else was listening to 50 Cent, I'm listening to Leon Ware and Marvin Gaye and, getting in the studio based on that. So I think that was a really cool part of my education, is just really going back. I really feel like some of the current music has just lost the rich heritage we have of amazing, musically excellent music. I mean, just the thought that in the 70s and 80s, if you didn't have an orchestra playing with you, it's like, what are you doing? Just listening to the production of I Want You, for example, by Marvin Gaye, it's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. And I think that's how I kind of educated myself. And also I used to I was around a lot of musical people like Fusion, who was on the MTV Base at the time, and we were really good friends at the time. And I used to see his production that he was doing. He had a mixtape out when I was about 18 as well, and I featured on that as the child prodigy and stuff like that. So I've always had people around me that are just really, really good musically. There's an artist, a graphic designer called aka Brother Ben. He's on Instagram, you can check him out. Now he is one of the best MCs that I've ever heard. And we made a lot of music and we still haven't put it out. But we'll rectify this one day. But I've just always been around really good musicians. I went to school with Binka Golden as well, who just won the Jazz FM Award for Instrumentalist of the Year.
Excellent.
Crazy saxophonist, so I think a lot of my musical education is practical, but then again now I'm still studying now, so I'm doing some formal studies in music now. just because I'm into like film score as well, so I want to just fully get my portfolio together on that side of. So,
wow.
You're always learning as a musician. You never stop.
Yeah, I understand that. What was I gonna? There was something that you said. Did you start off producing, or did you start off producing, or was you singing first? Which one came first?
To me, when Michael Jackson got up, he was everything. He was just singing, dancing, the whole shebang. So that's what I thought everyone did, you know. And I used to look at the back of the Prince album, written, produced, performed, you know, played by Prince, and I just thought, well, that's the aim. So from a young kid, you just don't, you know, people always used to tell me when I was like 19, 20, you can't do everything. But I just grew up thinking that was normal. So for me, it's just normal to write and produce and all of that shit.
Wow. So you were actually living, breathing, doing everything to do with music at the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What did your parents or your family think about you?
You know,
I'm laughing because I'm thinking as a mother. Yeah, go on.
They don't pay me any mind. Let's be real. They're just like, Christopher and his music. But, you know, they love music, and, you know, my brother especially, you know, he probably pumps my music the most. But as a family, we listen to a lot of soul, funk, grooves. You know, in the 90s, we were listening to the Pure Swing albums. We loved Michael Jackson, Luther Vandross, like, everything. There's a rich mix of eclectic music household. And then because my mum took us all to piano lessons as well, we also have the classical influence. So that's something that I really love. And that's why I love Leon Ware. Man, when you hear like songs like Musical Massage, and you Small Cafe, and you just have like these intricate violin solos, and you just really think, and then you listen to, like, you know, some of the current music, and you just think, man, we're just missing it a bit. And you know, although I don't have an orchestra at this moment in time, I would love to.
You'd like the orchestra, yeah. So you want you would like. You sound like someone that wants to reintroduce the fullness and the richness of creating music, live music. Yeah.
I mean, I love hip hop as well. You know, I make hip hop as well. But when I make R&B, I want, you know, when I listen to an R&B album, I want to hear that the artist has listened to all the greats, absorbed something, and then added themselves. Yeah. So I put that same expectation on myself, and hopefully, you know, something comes across. You know.
That's a good work ethic. I'm liking what I'm hearing. You know, because you're still relatively young, but to have that's a very mature outlook to have when it comes to your music. I think that's really good. So tell me, go on, carry on.
I say what we've got to remember is, you know, Quincy Jones was 50 when he made Thriller. Yeah. You know, how old was Herbie Hancock? One of my favorite songs by Herbie Hancock is I Thought It Was You, and that was at 1979. But he was at least, you know, I think 40s by then. So, you know, and in the 80s, you know, the 70s and the 80s, a lot of the pop stars that were out. I mean, think about even the Bee Gees. You know, these guys were fully grown, and they made grown people music. Isley Brothers, these are grown people. You know, I think there's definitely a market for, you know, the 15s to 20-year-olds, but let's please not pretend that's the only market.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
We need some people to actually come to the fullness of their craft and give us that richness, that love, you know, back into the music. I think it's an infectious, you know, when you hear music, that's just great. It needs no explanation. You can feel it in your soul. That's right. That's what we do. We need. What? Tell me about how you met, how you came to do your collaboration with Glenn Goldsmith. You know, that's an interesting question. I actually can't remember how it happened, but you know, Glenn is a legend. And it's probably something to do with one of his songs. I must have commented on Facebook or something like that, and we just got talking. But you know, I mean, one of the things that I'm kind of passionate about is, you know, we've had this whole Black Lives Matter movement, and I think it's you know, I think it's important that we say black music matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Feeling you under London sky, me and you under London sky, more than you under London sky, me and you under London sky. Can I be a melody, nothing but fantasy? It's all about love, sweet and tender as can be, nothing but good company. It's all about us. Girl, if you knew where I have been, you'll hold me close and let me in. You under London sky, me and you under London sky, more than you under London sky, me and you under London sky.
No, black music has played such a role in culture itself. You know,
Yeah.
even you know, some of the original blues artists in the 40s and 50s, their music was played as part of the run up to the civil rights movement in the 40s and 50s, and it was the blues music that the politicians were using to promote their political campaigns. And
That's right.
you know, and then going through to the 60s with Motown, and then that really helped kick off, you know, the civil rights movement. And, you know, the introduction of rock and roll completely, you know, had all these, you know, young white kids waking up and saying, look, we love this music and we want to listen to black people singing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and we're in a position now where the world is very polarized. You know, if you have a different idea, you must hate me, and
Yes.
it's not the truth. And I think that, you know, we've always had this richness to our music where we can put a message across, where we can, you know, change things.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it, but there's a famous quote by someone that says, you know, I don't want to write the laws of a nation, let me write the songs. You know, and I can make powerful change. When we really love what we do and it's excellent, you know, it's gonna make change. And that's why I try and put as much good vibes and message into our music as possible, because, you know, there's a lot of hate out there, there's a lot of negativity out there, and just want to fight that with the light.
So, okay. I like the term that you said about excellent, where you come with, you know, you obviously strive for excellence in your music, don't you?
Yeah, I tried to get there. Let me not build up the expectation too much. But
so you're probably you know, you're harder on yourself than anybody else.
Well, my thing is this. I mean, I produce, I play keys and guitar and stuff, but I'm not a guitarist, you know. So I would love to work with more musicians to get that full sound. I mean, I can do everything by myself, but, you know, I think when you have the best band members around you, I'm fortunate to know quite a few good musicians. And I have another single which we think will probably come next after Chasing Nostalgia.
Right now.
that has an amazing rhythm guitarist on it called Max O'Donnell. From 13. Amazing guy. I met him at a Prince Reinvented concert, and he absolutely killed it with the lead guitar, and I was like, right, we got to work together. So I've got quite a few tracks with him on it, so I'm excited about those. And, you know, I just want to work more with more and more musicians, and just, as I said, you know, create that full sound that we all love from the 80s. Yeah. And it's difficult because when there was physical music sales, it was easier to justify the expense of everything. But now what I'm finding is there's a lot of people that, like me, are just, you know, so passionate about music and want to get things done. So, you know, that's what I'm all about. So yeah, hopefully you'll hear that. I've got a lot of music. So it's kind of a toss-up what you're going to hear next, but hopefully you'll hear the music come through.
So it's coming on. That's what I'm coming on to. Before we talk about Chasing Nostalgia, it sounds like you worked with an eclectic collection of musicians or songwriters, and you worked with a few people. Am I right?
No.
No.
No, I mean, most of the stuff you hear, 99% of it is just me by myself.
Really?
Yeah. So like Chasing Nostalgia, that's just literally me creating my stuff. There's no one else on that involved.
I suppose I'm leading up to the decision that you took to say, right, I want to now do my own thing. I want to come out into the forefront and do my own. Yeah. Oh,
so to say like, who I've produced for or whatever. So yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I have. But you know what it is as well. I took a kind of little bit of a break as well. Like I've had children and stuff. So
yeah. You see, you look so young though. You look so young.
You kind
go on.
I'm not that young.
You're not that
young. Yeah, so I've had other priorities. I've always been making a shed ton of music. So I've got like Prince's Vault, got nothing on me, trust me. So there's so much music that I have, and then it's been more of a case of having the tools to express what I want to do properly. So one of the things that I think is a turning point is a couple of years ago, I just made the investment to buy some synths. And I sort of figured, what's my favorite sound? And it was that kind of early 80s electro funk. And if I listen to Thriller or the Purple Rain album, Prophet 5 was one of those instruments that was just on both. So I bought a Prophet, and then having that analog synth, I've just fully exploited that. And I think that's might be what people like about Chasing Nostalgia, actually, because I offered Renegade Soul like 60 songs and they chose that one. So I think that they're picking up on.
Yeah, that I said it to you before we started the interview that it does sound nostalgic. It sort of harks back to a bygone era. So how did that concepts come about for that song?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I started with the beat there. I started with the beat. I bought a Roland TR-8 machine because I love songs like Sexual Healing and Between the Sheets by the Isley Brothers. And I was like, how do I get that sound? And I figured, she'd buy a TR-8 machine so I can get that sound. And then I found out that it had, some of the sounds that were more similar to, what Prince would use on his early albums. I think on the Prince album itself. And on the Controversy and all that stuff. It was the really early drum machines. Mixed it with some live stuff as well. So that's kind of how I approach making productions. I try and blend digital with analog stuff. So I try not to use plugins as much as I can. I want to actually synthesize and do my own sound design. So when it came to Chasing Nostalgia, I had fully kitted out my Prophet Rev 2. That's the synth I have, Prophet Rev 2, with a lot of sounds that I had designed, and then also sounds that I got from people. Shout out to Geosynths, and create amazing patches. And I just filled up my synth with all these amazing old school patches. And then I was like, but it still don't sound old school enough to me, because the way we record now is so digital and clean. So what I started to do was to get guitar pedals that I could plug the synth into and give me that fatness and that rawness, and manipulate the sound a lot, so it's the stereo image has been played with, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm getting out right now, but I'm thinking
that you remind me of my son, because he's a musician. He's a singer musician, and I was thinking, when this comes out, I must let him hear you speak about all this stuff. He would know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm a full-on music geek. So,
yeah. He is. Believe me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be. You know, I'm passionate about the sound. I want to feel. You know, I remember, you know, being, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, and the radio coming on, and there was just some funky, good music coming on. And I remember in the summertime, you wake up and you hear that music, and you're like, wow, like, and it just makes you feel good. Yeah. So that's the kind of sound that I wanted to recreate for Chasing Nostalgia. I feel like a lot of music right now is really heavy, and also especially when you're, you know, from the hood. People expect you to make music about stabbing and killing people, and it's like, I'm from the hood, you know. You know, my boy Binka, you know, that won the Jazz FM award, he's from Edmonton too, you know.
Oh wow.
So we're from Edmonton, so it's like, but we just choose not to portray that side, you know. Yeah. There's some brilliant musicians out here, and you know, you should just be yourself. And I'm not a particularly angry person.
No, no. You come over very calm, very, very calm. Yeah. So. Yeah. But maybe it's good that you had that outlet as well, though. You know, growing up, that.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I mean, I remember. I think it was in maybe 2001, 2002. There were like 20 stabbings in Edmonton. And I remember sometimes I get phone calls like, oh, there's beats, come. And I'm just like, nah, I'm making beats on my PlayStation, thank you. I think I'll say, you know, you can go out and do that. But, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is.
It's very concerning, you know, the kind of culture and, you know, the gang culture, the postcode wars, you know, we got to stop. And, you know, and that's one of the things why I think it's so important to try and be excellent at what you do, because I want younger people to look up to me and say, you know, I want to do that, not go out on the street. Yeah. You know,
that is, I feel like applauding that. Yes, we need it, definitely. We need people like you. We need young men like you, definitely. So, right, so we got Chasing Nostalgia, and I do imagine like summertime and, you know, the sunset or the sun shining, the beach, you know, so it's especially right now, we need that kind of feeling, you know.
Well, it's interesting because we did plan to release it earlier, and then, you know, all manner of crazy things broke loose. But I actually think right now is the perfect time. I think we've had such a crazy year, and I think right now is when we need that feel-good vibe. And
we need a feel-good vibe, definitely.
And we also need a break from Mariah Carey every now and again.
Yeah. Or even Slade.
Mariah.
Yeah. So here it is, Merry Christmas. No, we need a bit of difference, but in a nice way. And this is that kind of song, definitely.
I actually have a Christmas song. But I was too late to the maybe next year you'll hear.
Maybe next year. In the plethora of music that's coming from you, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you know, it's one of those things, so much music, you need to decide which ones to put out. And that's a hard job because you listen to it, there's different sounds. It's like, imagine if Michael Jackson or Prince had got to 30 years old and had not released any music yet. What would you put out first? You know, it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, what do you think the new year is going to bring for you?
Well, I think what I'm hoping is that, you know, Chasing Nostalgia is a good introduction to what I do. A load of sounds, and it all revolves around R&B and soul. Okay. So I would hope that, you know, through Renegade Soul, I'll be releasing a few more pieces of music.
I hope so. That'd be great.
And, hopefully we'll be in a position where we could do live shows again, and then
that's what I love, a live show. Live music, I love it, you know. So,
I actually feel like I can sing better live than I do recorded as well, so
that's good.
I'm definitely looking to, you know, get myself stuck into that. But there's so much music, so my want and my wish is just to be able to put out a lot of it. I want to produce for other artists as well. I've got so many songs that it's just ridiculous, and I've written like probably 2 albums worth of really good songs for female artists as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
you know, I'm just looking for the right people to work with, really, because I've got some hit in the cupboard, you know.
Well, I'm sure they come in.
I mean, you
I'm
definitely
sure
expect to get more.
Yeah, I'm sure they come in. I'm sure. I mean, Chasing Nostalgia is definitely going to turn a few heads, and people are going to look your way. I'm sure of it. So, two questions. First of all, how would you describe yourself if someone said to you, Cristian, what are you like? What kind of guy are you? How would you describe yourself?
Kind of guy I'm like. I'd say a dreamer. I'd say a dreamer. I'm quite idealistic. And I'm a purist when it comes to my love of music. You know, if I'm gonna make hip hop, it's gonna be boom bap hip hop. You know, if I'm gonna make soul, it's gonna be Marvin influence, Leon Ware. You know, it's gonna be soul. If I'm gonna make electro funk, it's gonna sound like early electro funk. I'm just a purist. I love what I do. I'm a fan of music first.
Okay.
And hopefully through the lyrics that I have, people will see, you know, that I'm passionate. I'm romantic. I think, you know, one of the things I'm quite passionate about actually is promoting what I think is a normal sense of masculinity. You know, you can still be romantic and vulnerable in a confident, manly way.
Yes.
And I think that we've really kind of lost that in music right now. What are the emotion? You know, early 90s, you could listen to Ralph Tresvant, Sensitivity, all these different kind of things where men were like free to just be normal.
Yeah.
And then now, like, unless you're killing someone, they don't want to promote. So I think we need to bring the love back.
Yes, bring the love back. I like it. See, there's another title for a song. There's another title for a song, Bring the Love Back.
Oh, there you go. That is a good title.
Tell us your social media handles. Where can people find you? I will provide it at the end of the interview. But where can we find you?
So on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, it's literally at Cristian Jermane. So
excellent.
Cristian with no H and Jermane with no I.
Okay. All right. So I'll make sure that it's up there so that people can see it. But it's been lovely talking to you. I felt like we went really deep into music, so I know I'm swimming back up to the surface, but you know, I like it. I like the fact that you take it so seriously, and I know because of that, we're going to hear some excellent music. Using that word excellent again, but we're going to hear it. So it's been lovely talking to you. Okay?
And thank you for having me.
No problem. Okay. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.